Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today we're testing out a couple more games that you guys have suggested in the previous videos. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So in our last video, we have tested PUBG Mobile, and if you want to see that video, I'll leave a link for it in the description below. But yeah, most of these games have been suggested by you guys. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at Critical Ops, which is where I discovered something about this tablet, and we'll talk about it in just a bit. So first of all, of course, the tablet is very smooth. It's overall pretty responsive, of course, like we have seen before. Pretty much all the games I have tested on this thing have ran flawlessly. But there's just one thing that I kind of talked about in the PUBG video, and that would be that aiming was kind of hard. Yes, it didn't have the gyroscope function, but that's fine. We can always aim with our thumb. But it was just one thing, and you're probably noticing it right about now. As you guys can see, it is very hard to do any micro adjustments. In fact, if I move very slowly, you can see that it moves in blocks. Now I have tested a couple different phones and tablets, and some of them have this issue to a certain point. But here it's much more exaggerated. But if you move fast and stop where you want to be, you can get to the area that you want. But if you try to get to where you want exactly by just moving your thumb slightly, it kind of jumps. Now I don't know if that's something with the hardware or the OS. I guess we might only find out when we root the device and install a custom ROM once those things do become available. Now is it a deal breaker? Well, it could be if you want to play PUBG competitively, but in my opinion, at least for me, it's not a deal breaker because the rest of the tablet is pretty great. But again, it is something that I had to share with you guys because if you guys know this channel, if there's something that I find out, I'll let you guys know. And usually not a whole lot of other people, if any, will talk about this kind of stuff. So you have heard it here first. But yeah, overall, if you want to play Critical Strike, it's going to be smooth as butter, running at the native resolution with the maximum settings on. So if you want to play this game and you're not too competitive, then this tablet will do the job. So moving on from Critical Ops, I've already tested the multiplayer, it runs flawlessly. Let's go ahead and try Ark Survival, which if you have ever played the PC version of the game, it's the most unoptimized game I have ever tested. It's all over the place and it's full of issues. And here are the settings that we are currently running. So here's Ark Survival at the lowest settings. It looks pretty okay, but the frame rates, of course, are probably running at 30 FPS or below. Is it playable? Yeah, you could say it's playable. It's not terrible, but at the same time, it's not smooth enough. And again, this game is just not optimized, even on PC. Now let's go ahead and play Vainglory, which is pretty much a MOBA game. And right now it is running at auto, and I'm going to put it on high and see how the game goes. And if you're wondering, we are running at max volume. Alright, so we are in. I have no idea how to play this game because I've never played it before, but I do know how MOBAs work. And as you guys can see, we are running high settings and the game looks absolutely stunning. Yeah, the game looks very smooth. No issues here. In fact, I would say this tablet is pretty great for playing games like these because you don't need a lot of precision. So with that said, that might be one of the games I might start playing on my free time. Now moving on to Legends, or Shadow of Legends, and or Shadowgun Legends. And I haven't launched this game before. I've only launched the original Shadowgun demo all the way back then. So let's see how they have improved this game. Alright, so interesting concept, interesting game. So we have a pretty nice environment. Is the game running at 60 FPS? Probably not, maybe like 45, maybe 30. But it does look like it has some stable frame rates. But it could also mean that the game is locked at 30 FPS, so we're not exactly sure. Let's go ahead and jump to the settings and check. See, yep, so we have an FPS limit right here. Let's go ahead and disable that into 60 FPS. And now I think we should go back and we should be able to see a much smoother game. And yep, there we go. The game is running at 60 FPS, or close to it. Gotta find a mission, get it started, and see how well it runs. Alright, click here to start mission, launch, and just for extra measures, let's jump to the settings one more time, and change it to ultra high settings just for the kicks. Yep, very high is way too high, and I don't see a whole lot of difference in terms of quality. But one thing for sure is it's nice to see that games are having more graphical options in the menu. Now of course, since I'm recording in 4K, my camera only supports 30 FPS recording, which means you guys are only going to be seeing 30 FPS and not 60 FPS that I'm seeing in real life. So that's it for Shadowgun Legends. Next up we have Standoff 2, which you could say it's the CSGO of Android, except it looks much better on Android for some reason. The settings are already maxed out with the anti-aliasing set to max. And yeah, let's just jump into a team deathmatch game and see how things go. Even the loading screens are pretty much CSGO. And the game supports a nice FPS counter on the top here, which I have enabled. So the game here is just really gorgeous in terms of quality. And we're just going to keep getting spawn killed in this game. That's one thing you'll notice. And I'm going to go ahead and increase the sensitivity because things are kind of too slow here. Yep, this is not a fun game. Yep, nothing like getting spawn killed. And the game is over. A very smooth game with tons of spawn killing, and it would have been nice to have some more accuracy when playing games like these. Lastly, we have Honkai Impact, and from what I've seen, it's one of the most graphically impressive games out there. And jumping right into the graphics settings, we can see that the resolution is set to medium, FPS at 30, with the main stuff here activated. So let's go ahead and do custom, and set the resolution and FPS to max, and then apply. And just to quickly answer a question that I keep seeing over and over again, and that would be, does this tablet support any stylus pens? And if it does, are they pressure sensitive? Well, the short answer is no, but the slightly different answer would be you can use these fine point capacitive pens. These are not pressure sensitive, and all they do is mimic what your fingers do. But you can see that the tip doesn't look like your usual pen. It is called a fine point tip, and I'll leave a link for it in the description below. They're pretty cheap, and they are really nice to use because you can pretty much use them on any modern device, and they are definitely worth getting. But other than that, guys, that is actually pretty much it for this video. So again, if there's anything you want me to test out, let me know in the comment section below, and we'll try to include it in the final review. And other than that, thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed this video and found it helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.